Hey everybody, so I'm joining you today with a very special guest and we're going to talk about journaling. Her name is Jayne Portnoy and she has a project. It's called Pen2Paper Project. It's all about journaling, and right now a lot of us are feeling a little stressed, a lot of us are feeling isolated, and I was thinking, hey, why not do some journaling? But for a lot of us, we don't know where to start. So Jayne, my first question to you is going to be, what does it mean to journal?
It's such a good question, because I think a lot of people are hesitant to start journaling because they think it's hard, they're not going to be good at it, they're not a good writer. So I tell a lot of people, like, if you make a daily task list, if you have your grocery list, a honey-do list, you are journaling. Anytime you're connecting pen to paper, you're technically journaling. You're creating a list or resource and you're putting thought to getting words to paper. So journaling doesn't have to be hard. As a matter of fact, my own practice really started from letter writing. My practice began back, you never thought like it would get crazier than it was then. And here we are in a time that's really unique to many of us. But I would say back in our sort of last election cycle when, Facebook used to be puppies and cute pictures of, your friends from high school. And then it became a medium for people to really message. And it took a turn that just felt uncomfortable for me. So I started writing letters to all of the people that I had otherwise been connecting with on social media, because I just needed to take a break from it. And the more I wrote, the more I was connecting with my friends, myself, just sitting down, sort of, picking out the paper that I thought would make somebody else happy, or the funny card that I found at the, grocery store, or the, car washes. Car washes have great cards. But I was finding cards. So I started a letter writing campaign. And then when I asked people, irony alert, I went to Facebook and said, am I the only one that feels really out of sorts right now? Writing's making me feel better. So if you feel the same, tell me that you'd like a letter and I'll send you one. And that's how the Pen to Paper project began. So it was really just simply putting pen to paper in any way possible to help myself get right again.
I love that. I mean, if you're making a to-do list, you're essentially doing a form of journaling. So I love the background on how you got into it. Who is this good for?
Everyone, especially right now. I think we're spending a ton of time, pre-COVID-19, we were spending a lot of time on our screens all the time. Now we've sort of ratcheted up that ante because we're doing our yoga online and we're communicating with our friends online. And one of the natural things that happens when we spend a lot of time on screens is our nervous system is sort of in two parts. And I'm not a doctor, but essentially you have a parasympathetic nervous system and a sympathetic nervous system. And one tells you to rest and digest, and the other one tells you fight or flight, right? So if you're going to be attacked by a bear, one tells you run, and then the other one tells you, hey, it's okay, chill out. So one's the brakes and one's the gas. What happens is when you're always online, you're always stepping on the gas pedal. So the more we're connected to things that are digital, the less our analog system can repair itself. So that braking system, the parasympathetic system, we need to repair it as often as possible. So getting offline, getting analog, sitting with yourself is a way to repair our systems, especially right now when we're nervous. And that's a normal thing to be.
Yeah, I hear you. Especially right now, so for a lot of people, it's like a forced isolation, a forced to work from home, something they're not used to, and maybe taking a little bit time away from those devices that we're so accustomed to. Is it easy to start? Some people may be intimidated by the thought of actually putting their thoughts down on paper.
Yes, it's so easy to start. So I have a couple super easy tips. First one, just start. Just start. Don't worry. We don't have to be Kurt Vonnegut on our first time out or ever. That is not the point of writing or journaling. It's really to connect with yourself. So just start. Say, I'm going to do it every morning or every other night, or I'm just going to sit down with my kids on Wednesdays because they're driving me crazy. So that's a new activity. So just simply start. I recommend, and I have writing prompts online. I post a new one almost daily. 7 minutes. Writing doesn't have to be a long, arduous task. Why 7 minutes? Because it's not 5 and it's less than 10. Everyone's got 7 minutes. So I say set a pleasant little timer and sit down for 7 minutes, take it to your backyard, go somewhere cozy, have a really nice cozy couch. It's where you'll find me writing most days, and just get started. It doesn't have to be in a formal journal. I write on everything. Anything I can get my hands on, I say write on anything. A piece of paper, a sticky note, that's considered journaling. Anytime you're connecting pen to paper, and then pens. I always, like, no jokes, this was not a prop, this is sitting here. I steal them from everywhere. I always have pens around all the time, so when the moment strikes, I have something to write with, and I've got pretty pens and sparkly pens and colored pens, so it's fun. My writing is sometimes doodling, and then the last tip is take it with you. Take a journal, maybe it's something small. I use small ones that it can fit in my purse, can go in my gym bag. If I'm at the beach, wherever it is. I fly a lot for work, so I've done some great journaling on a barf bag. So anywhere you can write. That's a great way to get started. So just some super easy tips.
I definitely like the idea of just being able to kind of get those thoughts out and putting them on paper, because sometimes it gets so crazy. I have all these things swirling around in my head, and maybe even, like you said, get together with family, make it an activity for, parents and the kids or whoever's around. Now, you also mentioned you give out tips online and on your site, and then you also do some online classes. Can you talk about that?
Yes. So before this moment, I was hosting a series of workshops all over the city, all over the country. I was doing them for corporations as well. But now I'm doing them online so that we can stay connected and keep writing. So if you just follow me on Pen2Paper Project on Instagram, daily I offer prompts and pretty pictures and quotes, and who doesn't need those right now? So follow along, but it gives you some good ideas. There are some on there. As a matter of fact, the one I posted today is one to do with your family. It's about letter writing and getting creative and crafting. So some of the beautiful things you have on your wall behind you could be gorgeous letters to friends, neighbors. I held a little workshop the other day, so great one to do with kids. But I asked the children in my neighborhood, again, we did it virtually, to write letters to their heroes. And what was so beautiful is who they saw as their hero. 2 of the kids actually wrote letters to their Trader Joe's baggers, which I thought was so sweet. Like, they're seeing the people that are showing up at the grocery stores for us. So letter writing is a great way to get kids started. And again, you can follow me on Pen2Paper Project. And then every other Thursday at 4 p.m. PST, I'm hosting free workshops online. So get Zoom. If you don't have it, you can follow along. That's free. But you can join me online, and they're for adults and children.
Great. And before I let you go, Jayne, do you like to go back and look at old journals and old things that you put down on paper?
I don't. I'm sort of one of the ones that say write it and let it go. However, for this particular moment in time, because I'll admit it is a scary time for a lot of us, I am keeping sort of a COVID-19 journal, because I want to see where I am.
Right.
Because I'm working from fear and non-fact to fact and calm, and how I can help others and where I can go. So I think this is one I'll keep. But I typically tell people, write it and let it go, so then you don't stress about, is anyone else going to read it and was it good? Just write it, get it out of you, and let it go.
Whatever works for you. I want to thank you so much for joining us and sharing some of these great tips. What's your Instagram again?
Pen2Paper Project. And the 2 is the number 2. So Pen2Paper_project.
All right, Jayne, thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to talking to you again at some point in the future.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.